Great. Okay, so if you say that, but with your name first.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, so my name is FRANZISKA Pausch's. I'm having a background in marine biology, and I studied the ecology of phytoplankton in the Southern Ocean. And while studying this and learning everything about how climate change affects the oceans, I realized that it's important to communicate all the climate issues and also the possible solutions. So I turned into a science communicator, and I went from phytoplankton to macroalgae, to seaweed, because of their potential for saving the planet.
What are your thoughts about the climate at the moment and where we're at? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, so with climate change, we are in a very a critical moment in time, because we are heading towards catastrophe, and but we still have a window of opportunity to do something about it and to avert the worst consequences of climate change and reaching the critical tipping points. But it's we're running out of time, and we have to act quite drastic and soon. Sorry.
That's fine.
That's great. Good. But I feel that I'm more comfortable now. About this.
So why working with microalgae, and not scientific, but just the basic principle that to you it seems quite promising.
Sure. Macroalgae, seaweed have, compared to phytoplankton, the microalgae, the seaweed has much better capacities and potential to really make a difference in a large scale when we use it as a climate solution, and deploying large fields of those seaweeds in the open ocean. There's space, and we don't need very crazy amount of technology. It's more using the ocean like we use the land as a farming ground, and it's much easier to handle those macroalgae than doing the phytoplankton stuff.
So, talk about Seafields. The company that I'm with, this is our plan.
Yeah. So I'm currently. So I'm currently working as a science communicator for Seafield Solution. It's a British startup where we want to use the great characteristics of floating seaweed, especially sargassum, to sequester CO2 and to use it as a climate solution. And
That's where we're at again.
Yeah. So currently I'm working as a science communicator for a British startup called Seafield Solution. And the aim of the startup is to use the free-floating macroalgae sargassum. It's a seaweed that grows naturally in parts of the Atlantic, and also now got invasive and a problem in the central Atlantic, so spanning from the West African coast to the Caribbean. And it has a great potential to be used as a farming crop for aquaculture in the open ocean.
Okay, let me just hold that.
It has all this carbon in it.
Yeah, right. Let me just see a nice patch. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
So talk us through this.
All right. So we have here, one species of macroalgae of seaweed. It's Fucus, a species, and this one is, as you see, it grows on the rocks. But for sargassum, this is different. There are two species that are only free-floating, so they don't need to be attached to any substrate. They can just multiply and grow free-floating, and this is a big advantage because you don't need hatchery, you don't need ropes or anything to grow on it. And compared to phytoplankton and the tiny microalgae, the seaweed has much more carbon in it. It has thick cell walls, and it can be easily harvested with ships or with nets. You can catch it, and with phytoplankton this is not possible. It's much more difficult to really use it and grow it in big scale and use it for climate solutions.
And then can you just talk about the can you just talk about the business aspect of this as well? That collecting this, that's sequestering carbon. There's a kind of business model for it as well, because
sure.
it will be then passed on to.
And the great thing about using seaweed is that there's a lot of side benefits to it. So you can, it's really a good business model to grow algae, seaweed in a big scale, because you can use it as a raw material to help decarbonizing the chemical industry, because you can make products out of the seaweed biomass that are currently made out of fossil fuels, and that's why it's just not only it has an advantage for taking out CO2 and sequestering it, but it also can be used for many different purposes. And
so, for example, I'll edit this in, but from vegan leather to plastic pipes to you name it, you can actually do that with this.
Exactly. So with sargassum, you can, or seaweed biomass, you can use it for vegan leather. You can use it for building materials. You can use it for many different purposes. You can use it as a fertilizer on fields. And there's more and more opportunities and developments being done, different products, companies working on this. And since it's really a problematic issue in the Caribbean, especially in also West Africa, it's necessary also to do something about it. And then the more we use it, the more value it will get, and the problems will get a solution, which is a win-win for everyone.
So how do you see the future? What's your vision of the future? How do you think things are going to turn out?
Yeah. So for the future, I hope that now is the moment that kind of humanity comes together. It's easier said than done, but we really need to act fast on averting climate change and explore all possibilities to mitigate the worst effects. And I hope that in the future we will be looking back and say, okay, this is the point where we really understand, okay, we cannot go on from this, but it turns out that it's actually benefiting everyone, because with less pollution we have better air quality, we have less noise, and it's not just we need to sacrifice things or habits that we have now, but it's actually a great win for us. As a whole.
That was great. I just need to keep that in your hand. So I'm recording. Just move your fingers along it a little bit. Just Okay, that's great. I just wanted to. Can you just introduce yourself and again, quite brief, the work that you're doing and its relevance to climate restoration?
Mein Name ist Franziska Pausch, ich bin Wissenschaftskommunikatorin. Ich habe Meeresbiologie studiert und an der Ökologie von Phytoplankton, den Mikroalgen im Südpolarmeer gearbeitet und dabei festgestellt, dass wir schon sehr viel wissen über die Auswirkungen des Klimawandels auf die Meeresökosysteme haben, aber es daran mangelt, quasi die die Botschaft wirklich auch zu verbreiten und rüberzubringen. Und ja, deswegen bin ich quasi in die Kommunikationsrichtung gegangen und versuche ja die Botschaft. Sorry. Oh no, it sounds so strange if I say it in German. Okay, sorry.
Cool. Okay, yeah, so just briefly self-introduction, and you're a science communicator and you're working with, yeah.
Ja, hallo, mein Name ist Franziska Pausch. Ich bin Wissenschaftskommunikatorin. Ich habe Meeresbiologie studiert und dabei die Ökologie von Phytoplankton, den Mikroalgen im Südpolarmeer, erforscht. Und während ich mich mit den Auswirkungen des Klimawandels auf dieses Ökosystem und die Meere allgemein beschäftigt habe, habe ich gemerkt, dass wir sehr viel Wissen haben schon, wie der Klimawandel sich auf die Meere auswirken wird. Aber die Umsetzung und die Lösungen, wie wir die schlimmsten Auswirkungen des Klimawandels noch abwenden können, das fehlt eben. Und da habe ich meine Leidenschaft entwickelt, mich mit Klimalösungen zu beschäftigen und bin deswegen in die Richtung der Kommunikation gegangen.
Cool. And then can you just pick up the algae and say, look, this is, and then just tell us. Okay, so I'm rolling. Yeah. Okay. Oh wait, no, sorry, stop.
I'm doing it?
Yeah, I just lean down, pick it up and say, so this is sargassum basically. Yeah.
It's not, but yeah.
Okay, well, this is kind of, it's not that, yeah.
So, hier haben wir auch eine Braunalge.
I'm sorry, start again, it was just too close to your movement.
Okay, hier sehen wir auch eine Braunalge, die hier heimisch ist. Das ist eine Fucusart, das ist eine Braunalge und die ist auch verwandt mit den Braunalgen, mit denen ich mich in meiner Arbeit für Seafield Solution, einem britischen Start-up, beschäftige. Da benutzen wir Sargassum, eine treibende Braunalge, die nicht wie hier der Fucus ein festes Substrat braucht, also einen Untergrund, an dem es wächst, sondern das wächst frei treibend im Ozean und ist deswegen sehr gut geeignet, um offenen Ozean Aquakultur zu betreiben.
Okay, that's great. So I think if you walk along this line.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, oh, sorry, hold on. Yep, okay.
And just walk.
And just walk slowly forward, yeah. And then just walk past me. Keep going straight. And then I just want to get one more shot. And then just hold exactly where you are. If you stay crouched. Yeah, just move around with it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's great.